Hello, everyone. So I'm doing kind of a check-in because I find myself in a position where I never even thought it was possible. I thought I was an okay judge of character, and I know I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. Um, but I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a story here. Starting last year, I have a friend Tom. We used to work at Gadget Tech. He's one of the lead techs that went there. Me and him practically ran the store for a bit. He was a pretty talented tech, I thought. Seemed like a pretty cool guy. Helped me out through some tough spots. He reached out to me last year with potential job opportunity at a place refurbishing phones, kind of doing what we used to do. Better owner, from what it seemed like. He wasn't screwing me over like the first owner. It was ridiculous. He needed a place to live. His girlfriend was kicking him out. I lived close by. I don't have much. Most of you know I live in an RV. I don't have fucking running water. I use the gym membership to take showers. I just don't have much to give. But I am almost always willing to help you out. You can ask anyone that knows me. I'm willing to do what I can if I can do it. Okay? So, I offer to allow him into my home. I go out and get a key made. I tell him, hey, I want to try and do it for free, but I don't think I can because the time, he doesn't have a car, he doesn't have any way of getting around, so I figured, I was going to have to invest some time, which is okay. And I'm giving him a place to live, so I'm providing some value. My price was $300. This wasn't able to be a legally binding thing because I don't actually have running water. It's technically not 100% legal because I do live off-grid, so I'm not protected by the government. So I'm not protected by anything that I did here, and for me to get protected would be to enter into a contract, which would then put me immediately in trouble because I don't have too much to offer. So I'm already doing this in a position knowing that, hey, if this goes wrong, it could go quite a bit wrong, but hey, he's my friend. He needs a place to stay. He's going to kind of hook me up with a job. He seemed like a trustworthy guy. About a month or two into it, it was hard to get him first month's rent, so all I asked was $300 for the month and $200 for the deposit, which is really for moving. I ended up going to Lake Elsinore 3 or 4 times to help him get moved. I helped him actually move. I cleaned the spot for him. I literally did all this stuff. In the first month, in time alone from doing Postmates, I'm pretty sure I wasted $500 to $600 in time, and then fuel. Luckily, I had an electric car back then, but still, it was at least $20 to $30 in electricity because going back and forth to Lake Elsinore, running some errands that he needed to do, all of this shit. And I promise this has a point because I'm giving you kind of a history over all of this because I want this to be recorded because it's getting to a point to where this is absolutely getting ridiculous. So about a month or two in, he pays rent, everything's fine. We got the job, everything's going good there. About a month and a few weeks into the job, he ends up losing it. So, wait, you guys can't hear me talk at all? That's the only thing that needs... Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me talk? Because I really do need this, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use this for evidence for something. I'm getting fucked over by somebody I thought was a friend, but is an absolute just nightmare. Can anyone hear me? Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to start over because I don't know how much of the story wasn't being able to be heard. All right, so a couple years ago, I worked at a electronics repair shop. I worked with this guy named Tom. He was a friend of mine there, and he seemed pretty cool. He helped me out through a little bit of stuff. The owner there kept fucking me over, so we ended up parting ways and everything. He reaches out to me last year with a potential job opportunity. His girlfriend's breaking up with him. He needs to move out. He doesn't have a place to stay. He has this job opportunity. So I do everything in my power to try and, like, kind of help him out here. I live in an RV. I live off-grid. All I have is solar power. Like, I don't have much to give in the first place. So I could never actually do, like, a fully legally binding contract. Like, I couldn't make a landlord-tenant paperwork, which would protect me, okay? Because the second that I do that, and be like, hey, you can't do that. You're not in a zone. I was just literally wanting to help this guy out. I wasn't looking to protect myself, although now I see that I had all the wrong motives. I needed to protect myself. This should have been a transaction. Don't do this. Like, I'm going to have advice for you guys towards the end of this, because this is ridiculous. Anyway, the first month, I just asked for, like, $300. It's $300 a month, because that's all that like I said, I'm off-grid. Like, there's not much overhead. $300 is cheap in California, so I figured I was giving them a deal. $200 for, like, the deposit, which it wasn't really a deposit, it was more like moving bonuses, because I drove him back and forth, like, 200-300 miles from his place to get him moved in. I physically helped him get moved in. I cleaned the place for him to be moved in, and all of that. And then about a month into into everything going, he did pay on time. Everything seemed to be fine. We were working at the job, seemed everything stable. A little bit after that, he manages to piss off the boss and lose his job. I stick my neck out for this guy after 2 weeks, get him his job back, okay? So we're back to going kind of normal. He misses rent. It's kind of understandable because he didn't have a job for a bit. He gets finally caught up. It's getting closer to November now. So it's getting cold, so we decide to go, we do a few jobs together. We go out and fix a few things. He doesn't have a bank account, so we put it all in my account. So this is kind of where I started, like, a few of the fuck-ups, but I'll kind of explain why I did this. And he, like, we made some money from it. We put it all in my account, and at that time, he was actually borrowing money from me, so he didn't have too much money on his own anyway. So I'm only supposed to be a friend right now. I'm a landlord, and I was acting as a bank, because I was pretty much loaning him a little bit of money so he can get, like, eat and do stuff that he needs to do. It gets to around November, we start to get paid and stuff like that, but I hold on to the amount because he already was being weird about things. He has this catchphrase, is, I'm not gonna give you this much because that would fuck me. So he's okay with fucking me as long as he's getting his way, but not okay with me getting what's rightfully owed to me if it puts him in a hard spot. Like, all of this I've done has put me in a hard spot to try and help this guy out, and he still can't even financially put himself in a slight struggle just to pay what he owes, okay? So, so this keeps going on for a bit. During November, it got really cold. We ended up getting a hotel. We stayed at a hotel for a bit. It cost like $200 or $300. It turns out, of course, like I thought, he ended up pretty much defaulting on everything. That's why I kept the money. So I just said, hey, instead of paying you that, I'm keeping this because that's what rent is. So we forward to a bunch of other hiccups. By then, he's already, like, insulting me, being absolutely ridiculous. It gets to around Christmas time. Everyone that I know that knows this guy, I've already pretty much told them, like, hey, like, I don't like this. Like, this is not cool. I've already made plenty of exchanges with him, essentially telling him that I am not comfortable with him being here anymore. He needs to start looking for alternatives. None of that happens. Still doesn't have a job throughout most of October. We both get into car crashes. I lose my car. So I've already lost my motorcycle, which, while we worked at Gadget Tech, he dropped my brand new motorcycle and did over $150 of damage to the tank. Never once paid for it. Never once. So I don't know why I trusted him in the first place. But anyway, we both get into a car accident at the same time. I lose my car. I lose everything. Still paying for my motorcycle. Still paying for my car. He gets hit in one of the girls that he's seeing for a bit, that I've been providing a place for him to stay, where her kids came and damaged my property, and I helped them have a few movie nights. Like, I went and bought some snacks and stuff like that. 'Cause like I said, this bitch is broke. He doesn't have anything. Yet he goes out, because he's lonely, to get this girlfriend, bring her into my house. We both get in a car accident the same day. He gets $50,000 for the car accident. And then he turns around and sues her as well, since she was the driver of the car, because she chose that he was not a good option because he has nothing, okay? And he still can't see that none of this is his fault in the first place, which is ridiculous. I wish I could do a lawsuit, but I will explain why I hurt myself, because I didn't think he was going to be this big of a piece of shit. But anyway, this is also why I'm putting this down for evidence, because this is absolutely absurd. This is what happened. So we're getting closer to December now. He's with this girl. This girl's pretty awesome. She ends up having a flat tire and stuff like that. She ends up, like, wanting to help us out. She does some of our laundry. She's going to take some of our pots and pans. Never got the pots and pans back because of the car accident. So a lot of my, like, literally every part of my life that this man has touched has damaged or diminished some part of the property that I have had, that I've been able to help him out with, which is ridiculous, okay? So I'm already getting lip service from him. Like, if he needs cigarettes, and since I was holding on to his money, he would demand, like, he would literally yell at me to buy him fucking cigarettes. My rent for him is less than his smoking habit by a lot. Like, it's literally 1/10 of his smoking habit. So the fact that he can't pay me, but he can afford to smoke every goddamn day. Yeah. So, we're still in December. December comes around, and right in New Year's, I'm not going to say exactly everything he did, because it wasn't legal in the first place. I don't know why I still have somewhat respect for him, but I'm doing more to preserve this man's dignity than what he seems to be able to even conceive of. But he ends up ruining everything with this girl and with me. He does a bunch of stuff, doesn't even know where he is at this point in time, pisses off this lady, because alright, fuck it, I'm just gonna say he was doing drugs. I'm not gonna say what kind of drugs, but he was doing drugs, and he manages to piss her off, manages to piss me off at the same time. I tell him that night, because he was being absolutely unreasonable, that you need to go within a month, okay? Like, I gave him 1 month. He's practically unconscious for the first 2 days of the year, so he doesn't really recall anything. He was a total asshole that whole time. I'm not even going to expound on that. That gives me more than reason enough alone to get this fuck out of my life. But I still feel bad for him, because he's literally alone out here just like me, and I understand how that can be. And unlike me, he doesn't have anything. So being out in California, like, it's really hard to live out here if you have things, and he literally fucking has nothing, okay? So I'm still trying to help him out. Luckily, I bought a longboard and everything, because just in case anything were to happen with my electric car, I wanted to have some backup. So I bought an electric longboard from a friend, traded my board that I used to have. I actually absolutely love that board. Yes, that board wasn't under great repair. He did give me a great deal on the new board that I got. Fucking loved it. So we had no way to get around other than my electric longboard. This guy is terrified of boards and stuff like that. I taught him how to ride this board, okay? So I taught him how to ride this longboard most through January, because he had to do his stuff with his lawyer. Like, he had to go there to do the chiropractic care, to get checked out and everything like that, so he can get the money for the accident, which, he deserves. That wasn't, that was an accident, that I understand. However, this is already kind of fucked up. I've lost 2 vehicles, still paid. I just finished paying for both of them. He gets hit once, and he gets $50,000 check eventually. Love how my life goes. But anyway, I teach him how to ride this longboard so he can get around to go to his chiropractic visits. Within a month or 2, my board already sounds weird and it's kind of funky. I tell him, hey, let's repair it. So I let him kind of work on it. I use it once after that. Nearly died on the street because he repaired it wrong, okay? And I said, dude, I don't know what's going on, but this is being weird. I gave it back to him. He kind of fixes it. I'm pretty sure the bearings were too tight. Whatever. He ended up destroying, like, the hub makes weird sounds now. But it's whatever. We get it working again, and then we notice that the fucking motor control is kind of bouncing off the top of the board. It wasn't completely fastened in. It's a little bit broken. I ended up buying it that way. That's all I had to work with. That more than he had to work with. I was still willing to loan it out to him. Ended up destroying that board completely. It just doesn't work anymore. He put thousands of miles on it to make money, and he's still delinquent. At that point in time, he did end up paying me $300 on January. It wasn't even specifically for rent. I just said, hey man, I need some money. Like, this is getting bad. He had not paid me at all at that point in time. He did get some money, so I'm like, dude, I need help. So he helped me out with that. He helped me pay rent for that, but he still hasn't covered any of the damages. We get to February. Once again, he's late. I don't remember what it took, but I got rent out of him again, and then we get to March. Like, during February, though, I guess, there's so much, this is fucking ridiculous. So during February and March-ish, he replaces this board. He buys a new board, which he goes out and breaks again 3 times fucking over. And it's because of, like, I know for a fact, it's how he's writing is destroying these boards. And I've tried to tell him multiple times. But anyway, he destroyed the board again. So he has to get a new motor controller or whatever. So at this point in time, I'm totally fed up. He has not paid rent. He's still, like, half the time, like, I was sitting there working 2 to 3 fucking jobs, literally only sleep 4 hours a day. And he sleeps all day, every fucking day. Leaves my RV a mess, left trash in everything. And I kept cleaning up after him. He one of his main complaints is he tells me that, this is a squalor, like the sanitation is not blah, 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 blah. I fucking cleaned everything all the goddamn time. He's cleaned maybe 4 fucking times the entire time that he's been here, okay? And my RV's still a mess right now from his existence. We're almost to present day, guys. I'm so sorry this is long. But now I'm like, I'm really fed up. Like, I told my parents, like, I want this guy out, like, around January. I let him exist for a little bit longer, but it gets to now, and then he still doesn't owe me money. So I come up with this because I figured that if I keep just adding on these charges, this guy has no fucking moral fiber. Oh, I found out. I'm sorry, because the order that everything happened in was not great because he did things behind my back, which destroyed my trust. I found out that he actually stole some of the change that I had saved up to use a Bitcoin ATM, or Bitcoin Coinstar, sorry, to get some Bitcoin when it was low. When actually Bitcoin was at its cheapest time, I went to go and find my change. He fucking stole all of my change to get cigarettes one day because he said that I left him there. Because he doesn't have a car, and I left him there, and he needed cigarettes. It was okay for him to entitle himself to steal my money that I had by my bedside. And he doesn't see a problem with that. Okay, so that's only like one of the first few times that he stole from me. And then he lies to me all the fucking time. Like, about the lithium battery that he destroyed. He destroyed them back in November. It was cold outside. Yeah, this is ridiculous. It was cold outside. I let him, like, I wasn't even, this is my RV. All of this is mine. It was cold outside. My bed doesn't get as cold as his does. I said, hey man, you can use the electric blanket. Be careful, you're on the lithium pack. There's no regulation to it. You can destroy it. He sleeps for fucking 11 hours and destroys the pack, and then thinks that it's my fault that the pack's nearly dead. I lose 8 cells. I lose 4 cells, which is half of that specific pack's capacity, which is one of the things that I'm charging him for, because he fucking broke it. And then he has the audacity to tell me that, yes, before that happened, I didn't tighten down the bus bars because I thought it was going to be a quick temporary fix. Didn't realize that there would be so much thermal buildup, and I did also harm a few cells. But I ate that cost. Those are mine to eat in the first place, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, I already took care of that. Like, I realized I fucked that up. The cells that he had were recovered. I did have them fully functioning, and then he fucking ran them to the ground again. So yeah, so there's that. So he broke the battery, he broke the fucking, he damaged my fucking longboard. He abused my car when I let him borrow it, and then yelled at me for it. He, let's see, what else does he have, or what else has happened here? So yeah, so far, my mistakes, other than letting him into my life, was I did hold on to money that we made together while we were working, but it's because he was already delinquent a significant amount, and his actual phrase is, I'm not going to give you this much because that would fuck me. Yeah, fuck you to that, dude. That's ridiculous. And now, the way that it is, so, okay, so we'll get to present day. This is what happened the last few weeks. This is what actually kind of matters. He's trying to get me, the cops called on me over this. This is why I'm making this in the first place. This is all absolutely ridiculous. So, a couple weeks, like, the starting of this month, I said, hey, man, I'm fucking done. You owe me this much money. You owe me this much for damages. I just want my longboard replaced, and you need to get the fuck out of here. The 15th is it. I try and collect money a week before. No, 2 weeks before, a week before, and then the day of. Okay, a week before, I'm like, hey, man, I just need 300. He's like, well, I'm not giving you 300. I said, dude, I need 300. He's like, well, I'm not going to give you 300. I said, fine. So I wait for the next check. We're both making a reasonable amount of money right now. So I said, all right, hey, your check is more than 500. I just want the 500 part, and you can live off the first check that you had and the residual amount. That should be plenty of money because I'm living off less. I didn't say that I'm living off less. It's just, I am living off less. It's just a fact. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. So that's when I fucked up again, and I told him, wait, can you hear me? Because I really do I need all of this to be, I need all of this to be fucking audible, because this has got to be probably evidence or something. This is ridiculous. And this guy is absolute trash. This is literally why the system was designed to, like, I cannot believe that the system actually will allow, like, I called the cops. I'll get to this. But I called the cops, and they told me that there's nothing they can do for me. But I'll get to why the cops are getting involved here. So, anyway, he owes me, right now, it's like 1,000 something because of the board. If he just replaces the board with the one that he already had replaced, that he then took, it drops down to like $725, which is still not even that bad. If living in fucking Colorado or California, $700 for even 1 month to stay. Like, I know people that share a bedroom with a bed, period, for $700 a month in LA. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm just glad. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. And I'm just asking for $700. That's with damages and 1 month's rent, which I came out and said, hey, you don't have to pay for April. I just need you to get the fuck out of here. Because if I said you have to pay for April, he's wanting to pay me with his fucking stimulus check, which I don't know when he gets that shit. He didn't file taxes. He doesn't file fucking taxes. And he literally, all right, this man has run 4 businesses into the ground, and he still doesn't see where the problem is. We were going to be business partners. I'm glad I'm fucking not business partners. I don't even want to be associated with this guy. I just want him to repay me the money, and I want to forget his existence was ever involved in my life, to be honest. But, all right, so, last few days. Right before, like, there's 4 days left. He's not doing anything. He's still, like, sleeping around on his free time, playing video games, doing absolutely nothing, just watching his computer. I have literally no way to enforce what he owes me if he leaves, okay? So knowing that this guy's fucking already stolen from me, willingly lies to me all the time about just random shit, I'm like, I can't trust this. I need some form of collateral. So I take his laptop, okay? I take his laptop, and this is where the legal problems start to happen. You cannot do that. Even if you're in a contract, you cannot do that. But you don't have to do that if you're in a contract because you actually have legal bindings. The only reason why I did this is because I'm just a friend trying to help this bitch out. And instead of being a friend, I've already been a landlord, a fucking bank for a second, a rideshare service, a maid, and a fucking babysitter, okay? He hasn't paid me for any of that. He barely pays me just to exist in the small spaces I created for him. And then, alright, so now, yeah, so I take his laptop. He has the audacity to fucking BIOS lock my laptop. So that's a lot of work because mine's a newer laptop to take it off. And, you know, it's almost a little funny, like, you know, we're IT, like, haha, okay, I get it. You didn't take my laptop, but you made it to where I can't use it. Cool. Annoying. He still has no reason, like, no right to do that. But anyway, he then leaves. So he takes all of his stuff for the most part, leaves the trash. That side of the room is totally trashed. Takes the new board and is gone, okay? And the only reason why I have contact with this fuck is because I have his laptop. And now he's trying to call the cops on me because I stole his property, which, one, technically I did. I'm not saying I didn't, but I didn't really take it. It's collateral. I don't want your fucking laptop. Your laptop is literally useless to me. I want what is owed to me, and I want you out of my life. That's all I want. But he stole my longboard, which he replaced and then took. So that's why when I called the cops on both of us, they can't do anything because he stole my property and I stole his. They'll both just look at us and tell us it's a civil dispute. With the government being shut down because they're clinically irresponsible as well, none of this is actually going to go through in court. So this man has effectively gotten 7-ish months worth of rent, borrowed like $300 to $400 worth of stuff, including life-saving medicine that I paid for him. He still hasn't really repaid me back. Paid for him to eat for like a month. I helped him get his job back. And he still thinks that he still thinks that I'm in the wrong here. I want to read you one of the things that he has said here, but if I do it, it removes live. But he pretty much told me that my generation is entitled and a bunch of all of this stuff when he has entitled himself to literally absolutely everything that I own. I have no form of protection about this. I already called the cops on myself about this because you know what? Fuck this. I'm ready to go to jail for this as long as he goes too. I just want my money and I want him out of my life. If any of you guys know any lawyers or anything that I can do about this, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm fucking done. This has been 7 months of the worst decision I've ever made, and I was just trying to help a friend out. So this is the advice part. If you're going to help a friend out, if you choose to do the RV or off-grid lifestyle, don't. Just don't help that friend out. Unless you have a physical spot, you have all the running amenities, because that's what it requires to have a legal binding contract. Or you have to write your own. And make sure you do write your own if you do. I had a friend who made me an agreement, and I stupidly didn't use it because I didn't want to be a landlord. I was just a friend helping another friend out. This is not supposed to be a big deal. I was not supposed to have to track his expenses. I was not supposed to have to track his damages. I was not supposed to have to track his fucking life. I was not supposed to be a babysitter. I was not supposed to be his DoorDash or his Lyft service. I was not supposed to be any of this. All I'm requesting now is he owes me $725 if I get the new longboard back. I'm not taking the one that he destroyed. It's not fair for me. He can use that one. It still works. He just has to replace the motor controller like he wants me to deal with. He needs to replace my property that he broke. I will give him his computer back. I would like that he undoes the password, but I will figure out a way to undo the password on my laptop. That's not as big of a deal. I just want the money back. I want my board back. And I hope karma takes care of this fuck, because this is ridiculous. To be honest, like, I can't believe that this happened. But yeah, if you're in this situation, keep track of everything your tenants do, even if they're friends. Like, it's really ridiculous. I cannot believe that this happened. And his main argument is, like, yes, I know. I couldn't provide you a place that was always warm. I wanted to do that for myself. Trust me. It's not something that I didn't give to you because I didn't want to. Yes, I know that there's no running water. The bathroom doesn't work. I fucking live it. Fuck you, dude. Like, his biggest complaint is that I haven't had enough resources to share appropriately, therefore I don't deserve anything. That's everything that he's setting this up for. And I think that's gross and wrong. And if that's not the definition of entitled, I don't know what is. But I'm going to leave this up as public record. I'm going to also upload this to my YouTube. I'm going to tag him in this, and I'm going to try and share this with law enforcement. If anyone has any, like, if you could share this with somebody, because this is just like a small piece of what I've been dealing with over the past, like, during this entire crisis, before the crisis. Like, this has been an absolute nightmare. How can I get this man out of my life? And honestly, I feel like I need way more compensation than the $700, but that is what I will fucking settle for. I just want him fucking gone. I want my money back. I want the keys to my house back. I want my board back. And I'm getting rid of this RV because he already knows what it looks like. I'm getting rid of all of it. I'm done. I don't want this man to have any form or way into my life ever again. And I don't think he honestly deserves it. I feel like I should go and talk to his current landlord, because honestly, his current landlord should know what he's dealing with. Like, I'm not even going to be like, dude, like, do whatever you want. This is what has happened with me. This is what has happened to me. This is what happened for supporting this guy. And this is what he has told me. Like, none of this is okay. But I'm going to end this now, because I've got to start getting ready for work again soon. I'm fucking tired. I only slept for 4 hours last night, because honestly, he threatened to send me to jail over me having his laptop, which is potentially possible, because, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying I didn't take it. I fucking took it for collateral. Any person that owes that much money should have something down. Like, that's ridiculous. That's a business move. I don't feel safe with him in my life. Like, I just don't feel safe. I gave him access to my safe. I gave him access to, what more do I need to say? You know? But other than that, there's a few other videos that I'm also going to do here pretty soon. I'm wanting to start a few things. If you guys could, like, share this with anyone that you know that might be a lawyer, or anyone that's went through, like, some tenant problems, or if you are a tenant and, you know, or a landlord and something like this happens, like, if you're a landlord and something like this happens, know that if you don't have a contract, you're really not protected. There's nothing that you can do. They're literally able to destroy your life, and Uncle Sam doesn't have any way of caring about it. And if you're a tenant and you're being any form of like this to your landlord, like, I mean, I can say that I've done some of this stuff too, because I never thought about it. I've never had a space that I've shared with somebody. This has opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. Like, I want to apologize to a lot of people for some stuff that I did that I didn't know was as bad as it is until now. But I also know that I've never been as bad as this to anyone in my life ever for any reason. And I've never once actually came after somebody for helping me out, especially if the reason that I was coming after them was because they didn't help me out enough. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know who can justify it's ridiculous. Thank you guys for being about this. For being here with me with this. If you guys, if I've actively complained about my roommate to you guys, can you guys give me just like a rough time frame of when this started? Because I want to have some history on all of this. Because if I deserve jail time, fuck it, I'll go. But I don't think I deserve any of this. I love you guys. Keep fighting. Hopefully things don't get worse. But this is ridiculous. What kind of world have we come to where just helping somebody can destroy your life? Like, literally destroyed my life. And I love you guys. I really miss seeing you guys. And I'm sorry I have been, like, so distant for so long. And it's honestly because I'm working myself to death. Because I have to. I have no one to provide for me, and I've been providing for somebody who's, like, 40. He's, like, in his 40s. Doesn't have a car. Doesn't have a house. Doesn't have a girlfriend, because he screwed that up, too. And he's getting on to me for all this shit. Like, I just don't know. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.